I also got really into Taylor Swift folklore and Evermore during this time, and that was great because I could just sit down, play some Taylor Swift, and like really relax and get into it. Just origami. Why are you doing this to me? Good morning. Today's the first day of my 30-day origami challenge. I'm really excited to start this one. I've been looking forward to doing origami for a long time now. I bought this a very long time ago, like a year ago, wanting to do this challenge, but I'm so excited to actually start this now. And then I also got this so that I can learn them all. There's 77 in here, I believe, so hopefully if I stay on track, I can get all 77 done in the 30 days. That is my goal, and I hope I can stick to it. Hello, this is Bronwyn 30 days into the future. I finished the origami challenge. It's all done. I'm sorry if my camera is wobbling like crazy. It's not my camera. I taped my phone to a chair and it's on my bed. So if it's wobbling like crazy, it's me like going like this. That's what it is. I just want to begin by saying I absolutely adored this challenge, like excessively. I'm so sad that it's over because there has been a challenge yet that I've loved this much. It's by far been my favorite, so I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I want this to be like one of those hobbies that I do in the future once I've tried all of my other hobbies. This is by far top tier hobby right now. I just loved it a lot. As to be able to see, I did about 80 origami this month. About 77 separate pieces, I believe. So I did accomplish my goal of doing every one, except I lost the parakeet. I think that's what it was. One of the first birds, I just lost that one. I may have lost another one, but like I mostly kept everything in a box. So I didn't even get to show it off because I was like, I didn't want to lose them before I could even finish this. So we have them still. I knew starting this challenge that I could probably skip to the back of the book and do the hardest origami first and be fine, but this wasn't really trying to do the hardest origami out there. It was trying to learn how to do the basic standard folds and like memorize them, so then that way when I do the harder pieces, it's a lot easier for me since I know the basic folds. So my goal wasn't really doing the hardest, but to memorize the folds and just like be really good at doing the basics. I have to admit my creases were pretty horrific. I know you're supposed to use your fingernail or a ruler to like make the creases perfectly flat and smoothed out. I didn't do that, so you can tell on a lot of my origami pieces that the creases just aren't perfect. So if I were to do this again, that's one thing I would definitely change, is just try and make the creases better, pretty much. For some strange reason, I struggled so much with bunnies this month. I tried about like 10 of the same bunny and I just couldn't do it for some reason. Then there was another, like 2 other bunnies in the book, I believe, maybe one other, but I couldn't get it right. Like they look fine now, like looking back on the pictures, but doing them, I don't know what bunnies have against me because they're like some of the easier ones. Oh my gosh. And then my favorite were definitely the frogs. I loved making the frogs and they were the harder pieces, but they were just like, I don't know. I just love making their limbs and stuff. And like, especially the jumping one, that one was so much fun. And the last one, it looks incredible. I love the limbs and it wasn't even very hard. Maybe it's just because I built up the skill over time, but I still don't think I could do a bunny. Like that's as sad as it is, I don't think I could do a perfect bunny. I really wanted to try some of the origami tutorials that I saw online. They look amazing. I'm like so excited to do this in the future, but for this challenge I was mainly focusing on just finishing the origami pieces in this book because that's just, you know, learning the basics, and the things that I was looking at online were like way too complicated. But I just like, you know, in your mind you're just like, you want to jump to that level. I was kind of like reeling myself back, like, no, we're gonna learn, and then we can do that. So I have 400 sheets left. This is the rest. I used about this much, so I have lots and lots of paper left. So I can easily try and do some of these after, so I'm really excited for that. I find origami really relaxing and you kind of get into this like meditative state until you mess up and then you get really stressed and frustrated, and I think that's what a lot of my memory of origami in the past was just like not knowing what to do and getting frustrated and stuck. So learning the basics really helped with that because I could do the harder pieces because all of the harder pieces were just other folds that I've done before in different ways. So I wasn't stressed. I never got really, until I got to the bunnies, obviously, but like everything else, it just went smoothly. I really got into it. Hours could go by and I could just be doing origami and I was having a great time. Now, one very interesting thing I found is origami is way better for me than journaling. I don't know if it's because I'm kind of an energetic person. I'm a little all over the place. So maybe just having something to create, to fold constantly and be making something really helped. Because journaling, I don't know what it is. I struggle with it a lot. Like I feel like I can't sit down at a desk and just write down all my like feelings. That was always really hard for me. I could never do it for more than like one day in a row. So this was great because it like kind of taught me that I can sit down at a table, do something for hours that, you know, I'm not moving the crazy amounts, and really enjoy it. So yeah, and I found it very relaxing, which most of the time doesn't happen. I think origami is just a great hobby to pick up just because this paper, I think I got it for like $7 on Amazon. It was pretty cheap, so it's an easy hobby just to get started. Just get yourself some paper, and this is a ton of paper. This will last you a very long time. So I think it's a great hobby if you don't have money. Or even just like taking some printer paper, cutting into squares, which would take an excessive amount of time. I think it's just worth it buying the paper, but you can still do it with just regular paper. And there's thousands of tutorials online. What I learned is like, if I got really stuck, which only happened maybe 3 times in this book with the bunnies, I'd look it up online, and there'd be thousands of online tutorials. So it's not even like there's so many options out there of just being able to do stuff online. That's like the beauty of it. It's just looking up tutorials. There's like books, PDF books online of just, why are you doing this to me? What I was saying was there's just a lot of stuff online you can find, so it's not hard to get started. Oops. All right, let's wrap this up. Pastels, acrylic paints, stuff like that, all is very expensive. You need paintbrushes, canvases, stuff like that. That's all very pricey. Origami is not, okay? Well, that was my 30-day challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye!